Well, we got one. We got somebody killed at the very end of the last stream, so that was my bad. All right, how are we doing here? Ah, so when you go send people out for the hunting of the migration path, it's a one-time use thing. I was wondering about that. We have learned something. The crab eater seal. Oh, this is really interesting too. Is we don't use up research. Research is like a set amount. We have 13 research because we needed. I think it was 10 or 12 to get the Adelie penguin. So that's really interesting. Hold on. Go back. I didn't mean to click on that. What even is this? Is a bucket of fish? Why is that out on the ice? Who knows? Back to the boat. We'll do the map at the end. For now, we should. Whoops. We should go to the captain's cabin. I feel like this is an okay place for my camera to be. There's not a lot going on the left middle. But if we get to a point where it's like, can't you feed the dogs fish? Yes, I believe so. I don't know why there's a bucket of fish sitting out on the iceberg, though. I understand what the bucket of fish does in the game, though. Alright, let's take some requests. Get ready for me to read much. We have Grimly, and Cordell is back. Alright. Shaw. Put a stop to those rumors going on about Hunt. Thank you, Grimly. That's simple. The sailors do seem to listen to you. Aye, you'll not be hearing them whispers again. Well, good. Thank you for the update, sir. Captain, thank you for building some proper shelter for the dogs. Oh, we did do that! Plus loyalty! Yes, starting off strong on this stream. Good job, team. I appreciate the assistance from the crew. Well, the dogs are an important factor in this expedition. I'm certain you and your kennel will repay us in kind. You need not worry about that, Mr. Templeton. Again, thank you, Shaw. That's it. That was an easy day. Captain, I would find it wise to have a word with your journalist among our crew. For whatever reason, Hunt allowed for a photographer with no sailing experience to tail alongside this expedition. As it stands, Kasha Belford's record is what will stand the test of time when this expedition is spoken of. And it would seem she has not made allies of the crew. But she's like my best friend! How so? She doesn't seem the type to make enemies? Yeah, I would say she doesn't seem the type to make enemies. Not with purpose or malice, Captain. The sailors of this crew are a private lot. They do not take kindly to the prying eyes of a landlubber, as they would say. Remember, Captain, she controls the story. She controls your story. Best to have a word. Well, it's a good thing that we're best friends. I would say. Done and done. Yeah, exactly. What do you mean unflattering image, you nerd? Listen? Alright, let's listen in. Fucking hell. What is it? What's it this time, Tucker? I'm gone like weird Cockney. These bloody cigs, they aren't what the shit I stepped in. You're the only man I know who could step in shit on the ice, mate. Well, there's dogs around. Ha, bloody right. But what a story. Yeah, he could have been out here with the dogs. Maybe he stepped in some dog poo. That does happen. Alright, there was an option to talk to Cordell earlier, but apparently she still doesn't want to talk to me. Let's pet the dogs, though. Pat his head. You stroke his head. And then you nod knowingly at that dog. He knows things. Alright, let's go down below. Who do you got going on here? The scientist storeroom? I think that's new. Let's check that out. What's going on in here? Gather... Who's calling me? From Sandstone, Minnesota? I don't even know who that would be. Or why. Landborn. All of our scientists are landlubbers. And Mr. Zack is demoralized. Devastating. Oh, I don't want to put you guys on here. I was just reading you. Let's see. Confirm your orders, and this makes science. Interesting. Oh, you also gain decorum. Oh, you gain... For each scientist you assign, you gain 3 decorum, which is really low. What happened? What did we do? Was it because a guy died? Probably. I would assume decorum goes down when somebody dies. Oops. Let's see here. So this guy's demoralized. There's not much we can do about that, dude. What else do we have going on? Our cabin, doctor's office, not really necessary. Let's go down. Pumps are kind of a waste of time, I think. So this is spoiled tinned food now, which is not great. Whoops. Oh, we did the thing. There we go. Now, we should gather coal. Got a sack of coal. And then assign some dudes. Got Runt's Da. Put Runt in there too. And then we'll throw Cavity on there as well. Confirm. Good job, team. They get to work. Now these doors are all locked because they're full of water. Now we're supposed to talk to Kasha here. Anyone free for an interview and a portrait? Let's assign somebody for an interview. Let's start with 2 John. Seems kind of like an amiable guy. Let's have him be interviewed. We gain a research and we gain decorum for that, so that's actually not too bad. Alright, so we've done that. Now, do we need... We should probably feed the furnace. Abandon ship! Asking engineers to raise the heat. Nobody's freezing now. What could we feed the furnace with? We could throw some wood in there. We could throw some spoiled food in there. We could burn a penguin. Why don't we do one sack of coal? Kinda, like, I talked about this last stream, but I think I want to try and run the furnace as low as it can go before we abandon ship. Because I feel like if you keep feeding the furnace anyway, you'll just waste fuel. But maybe I'm overthinking it. Grab the crate of spoiled rations. And now we should assign some people to get some more spoiled rations. Or maybe... Well, wait a minute. What does the spoiled rations do compared to, like, food that we could send people out to hunt? So, like, how much is this? It's 10, but it causes malnutrition. Versus, like, if we send them out to get food by hunting... Oh, hey, Facecam? Yeah, I turned that on this Saturday. Surprise! Yeah. If you weren't around for that, that's a thing now. so get used to that. Also, you can see my cool shelves. I got this mushroom over here. This mushroom is full of change. There it is. Everything's reversed in my webcam too. But that's my piggy bank, and then the other one lights up. That one's a light up mushroom. I have a lot of Mario memorabilia on my shelf. You can also see my cool hat rack that is hanging off of my door. But that's about all you can see in my room. It's a cool room. Show me your most Minnesotan item. Is it not the hat I'm wearing right now? Or it's probably you can't really see it over there, but I have an entire shelf, or not a shelf, it's like a display stand that is full of soccer scarves, and it's like 75% of them are Minnesota United themed, plus Minnesota Aurora. Actually, with Minnesota Aurora thrown in there, it's probably like 90% soccer, Minnesota soccer. My most Minnesotan item. That's a very funny thing to say. Alright, whoosh it is. The whoosh is low. If we're gonna do spoiled tin, we should do it all at once, I think. Because if people are gonna get malnutrition, we should go, like, all in on the malnutrition, right? I might be thinking about this wrong. But, we're gonna give it a shot. I'm watching on mute, but I appreciate the effort you put into my request. Ah, well then, nothing I said made any sense to anybody. Well, everybody else knew what I was talking about. Alright, spoiled tins go into the pot. All of them at once. And feed the hoosh. We've done it. Oh god, nope, it's not one at a time. It's literally everybody. Oops. Hawkins chose chaos. That's fine. Everybody else got to experience it. At least the full experience. He got to see something. I think it would be my hat though, right? It's a Minnesota hockey hat, and it says Minnesota on it, and it's got the state outline. So, probably the most Minnesotan thing I have in here right now. Either that or it's a loon hat, which is over there somewhere. I have a lot of hats if you can't tell. Let's see. Malnourished. Is there anything? How do we fix that? Is that just by feeding everybody a good amount? Alright, let's check the map. What do we want to do with the map here? We got some seals. Research a pressure ridge. Well, let's send our scouts out for sure. So, she's going there. Let's go scout over here with Yorick the Third. They found more fish buckets. And then Quilsley, you go out that way. They've found more science. Okay. So science crew got some malnourished folk. We should probably send them all to the same place. Send them out. We've used all of our dogs. And we have one crew member left, I think, right? So do we have anything we can do with them? Whoops, I went back in time. Maybe we assign them here? Who's... Of course it's the one crew member I haven't assigned to a job. You're not actually sick. So is there anything we can do with you? I don't think so. You just get the day off, bud. Because this is for scientists. Yeah, I think you just get the day off. That's fun for him. Oh no! We're boned, team. Dinner is interrupted by a torrent of flooding. The crew are alarmed. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, it was just two of them. Alright, they got freezing. Frantic arguments break out. Some even now insist on staying aboard. Most argue to take the furnace from the boiler and abandon ship right now. We've got some demoralized people. Can we go get it now? Don't look at it like it... Oh, we can't abandon ship. What do you think, team? Running the pumps doesn't seem like a waste of time now? I don't think the pumps would have fixed the ice, though, Dace. But maybe they would have. I don't know. Worked with a lot of captains in my time. Half of them don't know their arse from their elbows. You're different from most of them. Better or worse? Better or worse? Different. We'll see, won't we? He's got a good point. What do you guys think? Should we push it? And then bail, or should we keep it going for now? It's wild that the deck below here... Oh, I see. It didn't actually destroy this place. It just flooded it briefly. Okay, we'll push it for one more week, I think. And then hopefully we keep everybody from dying. Alright, speak to Templeton. Shaw, it's been some time since we met. When I first met you at the docks, Muttwash, I found it difficult to read you. Are your thoughts different now? That remains to be seen, does it not? I can say I did not see this turn of events ahead of us. Cool. How's the doctor doing? He doesn't want to talk to us. Let's talk to the explorer. In his tiny room. It's rather morbid, Shaw, but our last conversation had me wondering about those children of mine. Specifically, I wondered whether I'd see them again. It's not something you should imagine, I know, but that threat always exists on these expeditions. I signed on knowing that. Are you close with your children? Not at all. Not as close as I should be. Oh, not to all! Even the youngest is grown now, Shaw. My time to be a parent came and went. I chose the ice. It's kind of sad. Let's see. I bet Kasha wants to talk to us. She does indeed. Oh, we can... oh, dang it. I was going to say, we could assign that guy who didn't do a job today. Apparently not. Captain, the sailorfolk among the crew seem resistant to my report. The Saltborn people are rather private about their culture, especially when someone like myself is asking. I'm wondering, is my report invasive? Am I taking advantage? Perhaps an outsider's view is best, Captain. What do you think? You're telling an objective story, nothing more. If the sailors take issue, they'll speak up. Perhaps a step back is necessary. I don't need you upsetting my crew. You needn't expose their culture to their world. This report is on our expedition, nothing more. Like, I don't think she's doing anything wrong, but, like, if she doesn't need to, like, pry into their lives, I guess. I thought that would kind of upset her. The people of the expedition are the most vital part of the story, Captain. It would be difficult for me to go on without their mention. She makes a good point. Alright, let's go upstairs. Oh. Anybody else here? This is my room. Templeton. Anybody over here? Nope. Up we go. How are you doing, Cordell? The building next to my kennels would often play music on a phonograph. I would hear it through the open window, for months on end. I would hear it as I worked. Over time, I had grown used to it. I'm sure one of the crew brought a phonograph. Perhaps you can pick up the habit once more? Or do you miss it? To an extent. More so, I miss the routine. Ah, she's a creature of habit. Aren't we all? Hello, Kit! Welcome, welcome. We caused a nightmare to happen. We poisoned every member, not every member, but we poisoned about a third of the crew with bad food, and then we froze another chunk of them when the ship got flooded, and then everybody got demoralized. It was a travesty. Oh no, it was pretty bad. Please don't crush my ship. Alright. What do we do? A crew member will be cured of their malnourishment. If we do 0, we get minus loyalty. The furnace can only be fired for so long, and a crew member will be cured of their freezing. Normal, 2 per person. Only 1 crew member will be cured of freezing, though. And then, yeah. We'll have to fix the people. I think this is as far as we can... We can't go any higher. I guess we could go higher with the furnace. And that would make people happy. And it would cure 2 people of the freezing. And then we could focus on trying to cure the malnourishment next time. Oh, we don't have enough. I understand. Gotcha. So we'll just have to do it that way. We gained some research. The dogs are rested. Another week on the ice. Mrs. Gloss became freezing. On the sled hunt. Oh, I didn't know you could do that when you're out on a mission. Tashi is demoralized. Now frostbite has happened. Runt has scurvy. Lefty has scurvy. Lefty is demoralized. I think we're circling the drain here, team. More scurvy. Okay. Literally everybody has scurvy. I don't know if there's a way to fix that. Week 8. The boat has not been... I spoke too soon. Okay, the boat has not been fully destroyed, I should say. You can't escape. Well, I thought that was a foregone conclusion. Wait a minute! Did everybody die? Why didn't we just get off the boat? What? Why did that happen? Oh my god. The boat didn't suffer spontaneous decompression. They just stayed on the boat and just slowly were crushed to death. That's so dumb. She's gone. You, along with the rest of your expedition, your hopes of rescue now lie at the bottom of the unforgiving ice. Well, all right. We learned not to do that. Let's go back to where we started. We will pretend that never happened. Wait a minute. Week 7 it is. We didn't even survive another week. Oh man, that one's an all-timer. Amazing. All right, let's talk to Cordell. That young woman, Kasha. The flash of her camera has startled my dog several times now. It's growing tiresome. Are they respectable photographs at least? I do not care to ask. I'm already fully aware of how my dogs appear. Still, that camera is her sole purpose out here. As much as an annoyance as it can be, it would not be right to rob her of that. Cordell's a cool person. I like her. Alright, we will endeavor not to get our people crushed this time. We will take our requests. I'm assuming they're going to be the same as last time. Yep. Put a stop to the rumors. Thanking us for the dog shelters. Finish the requests. Blah, 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 blah. Talk to Kasha. She doesn't seem the type to make enemies. We're fast-forwarding through this. Cordell is #1 crew member. It's either Cordell or it's Kasha. Or at least Kasha is like my best friend on the crew. We'll just like speed through all this stuff. Bloody hell, my cigarettes, I stepped in poo. The dogs are here. Let's see here. Instead of spending so many crew members on the rotten food, because that was a terrible decision on my part, let's send them out to get some seals. We'll send 4 of them out to get many seals. It only takes 3 dogs to do so. Got all the dogs out there. Let's send the scientists out, but not all of them. I'm going to switch the scientists around a little. Or, wait a minute. I want to do this differently. So I don't want to send the scientists out onto the ice, because you can only do that one time. We're going to send out our scouts first. And then, I think those were the 3 that we had picked. Roughly. Oops. Alright, so the scouts have been taken care of. We sent 4 dudes out to get food. Now, I want some scientists to make some medicine. Let's assign the 2 demoralized guys. Or the one demoralized guy. We made some med comforts. And we go back. And let's assign this scientist here. Boop. If you could do research on the boat, why would you ever send them out onto the ice? Well, I guess it's because the boat isn't always here. The boat explodes after today, actually. I wonder if that's always a week 8 thing, or does it is it like a random chance that it could happen? I'm not sure. I'm not gonna find out this time. But it's something to think about. Alright, we'll go down. No people on this one. And I wonder if you're right, Dace. I wonder if you do take the time to have people run the pumps, does that put the ship being crushed on delay? I don't know. Who's to say? Alright, we're gonna put our 3 dudes on the coal pile here. For orders. And then we're going to have... We're gonna have gnomes talk to Kasha today. Have fun. Enjoy that. Let's go talk to the engineer boy. Now. We just abandoned ship, right? The furnace is torn from the boiler. We're heading out then. Best tell the lads. We're moving out? Yes, Captain's orders. For now, we should focus on setting up a campsite on the ice. Leave the equipment hauling for later? No worries, I'll get them to work. We have a camp set up before you know it. You're taking that with you? Aye. Can't go a day without it, can you? Oi, the crew like the music. Well, of course he's gonna take his accordion. Fair enough. You better get to hauling them lifeboats next. I mean, there's water in the lower holds, and then there's water on the lower deck after that. Makes sense that removing the water from the hold prevents water on the lower deck. Yeah. They're a bit more important than an accordion. I know. Arf, arf! Calm, Stanberry. We're simply moving to the ice. Arf! Yes, yes, it's all very exciting. If the rest of you behave yourselves, you will be treated to an extra helping of soup. Dog soup. Well, there we have it. The heart of the ship, ripped clean from her chest, but she still beats for the crew. How long were you waiting on that one? Well, because it was shite. No time for poetry. Captain, let's get this bloody furnace set up on the ice. Let's do it. There it is. Key items, furnace. Oh, it's just like Frostpunk now. Hold on. The music was really loud. I just wanted to turn it down a little bit. All right, we're in full on Frostpunk territory. Add furnace. Confirm order. Neato. Wow, the boats are over there. What a cute little village. A little tent. Is that my tent? I have the big tent. That's how important I am. Is that it? Anything else? Oh no, they're building more. There we go. What are you doing up there? Now's the last chance to get a shot like this. Do not fall off the boat, Kasha. Isn't that dangerous? Don't worry, I've done it before. Don't tell the captain. Okay. There. Perfect. Farewell, Temperance. Captain, I hope your new lodgings are to your comfort. If not, I'm afraid you have to power through until rescue. We say goodbye to the Temperance, but our work is far from over. Nothing to protect us from the ice now. We weren't going to get anywhere holding on to that anchor. Yes. Agreed. Haha, loyalty. You've done well to already strip the lower decks of the ship. Perhaps the wildlife should be our next focus. Regardless, we need our wits about us. We stand alone against the ice now. Alright. Clearly you have more to say, Templeton. Remember, Shaw, reputation can be fragile. You do not need an unflattering image at a time like this. You told me that before the ship exploded. Alright. Enter the request tent. Enter the captain's cabin. Oh, it's interesting. You can go back onto the boat. Oh! Huh. That's interesting. I think everybody's already been assigned to stuff. There are no fish to feed them. Right? The scouts are all spoken for, the sailors. Oh, there's one engineer. The other one died, that's right. We should put him to work. What could we do with you? Guy? Is there anything on the boat? I don't think so. Can we put him to work in the pump room? Hey dude, hey you, get to work. You need 5 people to do that. Alright, I guess... Oh, strip for timber. Oh! Alright. Hey you! Strip some timber. Confirm order. Table is stripped and bundled. Alright. And I don't think we have anybody else left. Does not look like it. Alright. Is his name Dick Flogs? It's Ricky Flogs. His nickname is Dick. There's a grog joke there somewhere. Dick Flogs. Indeed. Thank you guys for all repeating the same thing repeatedly, so I have to read it every time. You guys are very funny. Ah, they've combined the photographer and the doctor together. I see. Alright, at least we're not in trouble of being crushed by the ice anymore. Is there anything else in the request tent? Oh, no, that's the... I see. Call for dinner. Did someone say Dick Flogs? The crew have their meal out on the ice. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, good. No, never mind. I was gonna say, we're in trouble because the hoosh pot is very empty. Alright, we are very low on food. Apperton's scurvy prevention notes. Okay, you put that in the hoosh once people have scurvy. That's interesting. So maybe that was the thing to do, is you like load it up with the rancid meat, and then you get everybody sick, and then you fix them all with lemons at the end. I don't know. Or something like that. Alright, we have fed the hoosh. One person was malnourished. That is fine. Expected. Kasha's here to talk to us. We have many people to listen to, actually. Do we want to... We should feed this guy. Feed the furnace. Nobody has freezing, so we don't need to do that. Let's just throw some of the coal in there, and then throw one of the timber in there. We'll call that good. Feed the furnace. Leave. Now, let's talk to engineer. Oh, he told us about this. Better or worse? Different. We'll see, won't we? Alright. You ever have pancakes, Shaw? Served some for Captain Hunt once. And he started demanding them every time. Can only have them early into a trip, though. Ingredients don't last that long. Stop, you're making me hungry. I'm sure we can come make something similar with what we have. What would be a similar pancake, but not actually a pancake? I'm not sure. Hunt was fond of your cooking, wasn't he? He hired me. It would be odd if he wasn't. He didn't take me on his charity, Shaw. Hunt's not the type for that. I never said he did. Can't tend to the furnace if I'm yabbing to you at night. It's out of here. As you pass by, you see Kasha adjusting her camera as she stands, partially obscured as she finds the right angle for shots. As you step to her side, she raises her head and looks to you. What are you taking photos of? The crew, of course. This is quite the unique situation we're in. I want to capture the mood. Maybe I could place it beside our initial crew photos. Compare and contrast. Oh, that's brilliant. You don't have to capture everything, you know. You can join others if you wish. Crew remains in good spirits, I see, changing the subject. A crepe? I do like crepes. Crepes are really good. I'm sure many of them have stories to tell. Kasha's eyes dart to the crew, briefly lingering on the stature of Kurt, then back to you. Of course, I'm sure many of them have plenty to share. For now, though, I think I'm better off in the background, taking pictures from a distance. Do you dislike Kurt? Intimidated? Very well, stay here. I don't have time to convince you otherwise. Not at all. I don't dislike Kurt. It's simply that I followed Kurt's expeditions a lot as a child. So seeing him in person is odd. Is he shorter than you expected? Kasha lets out a small laugh. He's taller, actually. It's more that up until now he's been an idea. Does that make sense? Yeah, I get what she's saying. It's like, you see so much of a person and never actually meet them as a person, and then when you actually meet that person, you're like, this is weird. Kurt is just another person, like you or I. I suppose so. Well, I'll leave you be. I'm still looking for the right shot. Alrighty, let's listen in. You get your photo snapped by that photographer too? Aye. She's a landlubber for sure. Treating us like we're some novelty. I don't have much problem with it. Good conversation, at least. I'd rather less good conversation out here. I like Gnomes. Gnomes has got a good head on her shoulders. A crew member approaches you during dinner. Captain, you look like you could use some more to eat. Taking up the responsibility of captain is as admirable as it is unenviable. Please, help yourself to some of my own rations. Frankly, I'm stuffed. That's rather kind of you, thank you. Oh, come on now. Others in the crew roll their eyes and let out heavy sighs on your acceptance of the offer. They don't seem to approve of the attempts at gratifying command. Well, I was just trying to be polite. Alright. I see. Don't let the appearance of favoritism influence people. She told me about the phonograph before. Do you have anything to say? I'm gonna call it a night, see you for breakfast. Templeton, do you have anything to say? Oh right, we talked about this, where it's been some time since he saw us. No time for politeness on the high seas or the cold ice. Let's listen to these fools. And there I was, face to face with a leopard seal. Dangerous creatures, cannot be mistaken for your average seal. Natural hunters, much faster on land than you'd expect. How'd you deal with that then? I was lucky I had my hunting shotgun at the ready. We were feasting on leopard seal that night. Of course, of all the times the crew weren't filming. Pull the other one! It's true! This other time Kurt continues to ramble on. It seems he will be at this for a while. Alright, I think that's everything here. Oh, nope, there's one more listen in. That photographer, Belford? What about her? Did she come snooping around your tent as well? Aye, I caught her prying a couple times. I can guess she found nothing on you? No, she did not. We could all learn something from you, Tashi. They all hiding things? Also, it's weird that Kasha's, like, snooping through people's stuff. I might have to, like, tell her not to do that. Miss the water. You got used to playing on a rockin' ship. Start to feel sick when I'm off too long. First person I've met to suffer land sickness. I miss it myself, the sense of constant movement, nothing like it. Yeah, loyalty! You get it. Don't like the stillness. I like feeling like I'm going somewhere. Kurt? Oh, we talked about your daughters before, yep. Are you close with your children? Blah, 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 blah. Alright, did we talk to everybody? We've talked to Kasha. We've talked to Grimley. We've talked to Kurt. We've talked to Hammond. I think we talked to Junior. Yeah, we talked to him about pancakes. And then we talked to Templeton. Okay, cool. Anybody in here? Nope. Anybody in the tent or medical place? Yes. We talked about this before. You're telling an objective story. That makes her happy. Part of me hopes that they will. Then I'd know where I stand with them. As it stands, it's hard to tell what they think. And then let's overhear the doctor. Dr. Nutley? Mr. Templeton. I trust all is going well. Well as can be. All thanks to your expertise, I take it. I try my best. You should continue to do so. We do not wish any further incidents. What incidents? Captain, is there anything you miss from home? I don't mean anything important. I'm sure there are people you miss. I mean small comforts. Does warmth qualify as a small comfort? Well, you certainly aren't alone there. I doubt I'll ever grow used to the cold. Personally, I miss tea. I would drink a cup every morning, and right before I sleep. Tea, you say? Huh? It's kind of cold. I'm drinking Earl Grey. I like Earl Grey. Okay. We've talked to everyone, and I think everybody has been assigned a job. Explorers, 1 engineer who remains, 3 scientists, all the crew. So I think we're ready to go. Let's close out the week. The ship will not explode this time. We have 1 malnourished crew member and 1 depressed crew member. So we'll just keep everything as is. Confirm. How are we doing? Lefty became freezing on the sled hunt. 2 Johns is no longer malnourished. Mr. Zach is no longer demoralized. Alright, we have 1 freezing guy. Well, we can probably fix him, right? I think.